shit.
All right, and we're live. And we are live. So our podcast does not have a name. If you guys can, comment, throw some podcast names out there to help us out. We have so many names that it's giving me a headache. It's the headache is worse than my rent, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know how we're going to get to this but at the end of the day, we're here. No, we don't have a name for this podcast, but we have Teddy on the mic.
Brian.
Here.
Brian
Right
on
here.
the mic.
Who's the MIA?
Diego.
El Loco Codiciado, he's
Diego.
not here.
Diego's missing Dora. That's all right, but he'll be back with us. He'll join us.
Let's just
soon.
say his boots is non-human.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's okay, Diego. You'll get your turn.
All right, guys. So let's give it a go. I want to know. This wasn't my idea. First of all, this podcast was not my idea. I will not take credit. It was a conversation between you guys, Brian and Teddy. Late night. It was a booty call.
Nice to meet you,
Didn't
Renee.
even know that was a
Nice to
thing.
meet you, Brian.
So many
Oh,
years.
yeah. You
so
know
many
what?
years of knowing both of you, and I didn't even know this was a thing.
Brian is my go-to guy.
Oh.
He is my go-to coming out of the bar. No, but going back to that night that it happened, at least from my side, went out, had a little fun. It was a weekend. And jumped on an Uber. Drink responsibly, guys. Don't get behind the wheel. And on the way back, I just decided, what was it, around midnight or so?
Yeah, around there. 11, 12.
Something like that. And I was like, you know what? Give this guy a call. Check in on him. Hey, how you doing? Blah, blah.
Hey, little guy.
Hey,
Hey, little guy.
Hey, little guy. This one already knew off the top. Okay. This guy's had a couple of drinks in. But we started just,
Blabbing.
blabbing around pretty
Blabbing
much
around.
until we finally got to a topic that it's pretty much the reason why we started this whole podcast, because
You guys sound scared. What was it about? I want to know.
our topic was, go ahead, man.
The main topic that we had was just basically, we got into this little argument about, trying to figure out if it's okay for a woman to have a guy best friend, which we've heard that conversation millions of times with different people,
My
right?
mom didn't have guy best friends.
That's because your mom's from the fucking 60s.
Or vice versa. Is it okay for a guy to have a female best friend?
Because your mom's from the 60s, dude. Anyways. Oh, man. Shit. Anyways. So, yeah, that's a typical conversation everyone, a lot of guys have, and it's the versus the guy and the girl always, getting in fights about that, couples and married couples and all sorts of stuff, right? And so, obviously, I'm a little bit more, I wouldn't say conservative, but I'm more on the safer side, where, I was arguing with Renee about that, and he's more on the liberal side, Renee? Yeah? Nah?
I don't want to say liberal,
All right.
but
All right. Go ahead, defend yourself then. Go ahead.
I'm going to say
yourself.
I'm a little bit more open-minded when it comes down to that situation.
You're like a third body, eh?
Like, I, Renee, think of this way. But that was pretty much the topic that we
initiated this stuff, yeah.
Yeah, we went back and forth for, however long my Uber ride was at the moment. I think it was like 20 minutes or so. And we literally went back and forth. And, it ended up being we agreed to disagree. And Brian said, you know what, we should.
Yeah, do a podcast and involve our two other buddies here. And one of them obviously is not here, but yeah, so that's pretty much Ricardo how this started, and yeah.
So who was mad about the best friend?
Me.
Brian, yeah.
I was really furious about that.
And you were saying that it was okay for them to.
What
It's
I-
kind of weird though, right? Because it's almost weird to say what is okay and what is not okay as a man to a female. Because we obviously live in a world where, you know, as men, you're not really allowed to say what's okay and not okay in certain, because it's looked as machismo and super masculinity and what's the other word?
Misogynist.
Misogynist.
That part.
But women can be all that, and it's like, oh, we're being progressive, we're moving forward.
Yeah. No, definitely.
In a way.
Yeah, I like to think that it's like, it's not always like black and white. I feel like there's a little gray area. And in that gray area, a lot of things fall into that. And like I said, that's my way of thinking, you know? And, you know, everybody has their own opinions about their things. And
yeah.
I just, from experience of like a guy and a girl can be best friends.
Is that because you feel like you can be best friends with?
Yeah, because
I can't be best friends with the girl.
It never
For
ends
me-
well, dude.
Well, for me, I've been able.
Well, it
do
ends
it.
well, but
In that case, right? Talking by experience, because I have experienced that.
yeah.
Where it's like, it can work.
A best friend thing? A girl best friend?
Yes,
Really?
it can work.
Oh.
You know, but
I mean, it could work, but
like we said, it's
Well, I'm
just-
gonna get into it then.
no.
No, not
it's,
yet.
It's one of those things where it's like,
We'll leave
that's
for-
that's how it started, and this is, as you see, Brian already pulling into the
Yeah,
negative
chest
side.
came out.
And
Video coming soon.
That's
Heart
where-
palpitations. My blood pressure's moving up. My ears are getting red.
and that's what pretty much led us to be where we're at right now at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this podcast idea is something that I had thought about before, but it was something that I never decided to go for. I listen to so many podcasts. I listen to the God, Joe Rogan, you know, the God of podcasts for sure.
Yeah.
I think his tone, his conversations, you know, the people he gets to have, I think it's pretty cool. You know, it gives us people who, you know, every day 9 to 5 people. I mean, we don't have 9 to 5 jobs, but you know, we have our jobs that we work through Monday during the week and stuff. You know, it gives you a different perspective, and it gives you a different perspective of life, how people live their life, people that we have no reach to, and from different ethnicities and walks of life, which I think is pretty cool because you get to listen to how they live versus to what we know in our circle as first generation Mexican American. Of course, they say we have an identity crisis because we don't know what we are. If you're American, you're Mexican.
Well, let's
Are you
say-
Mexican American? Are you Chicano because you're from East LA? Or are you from... Oh, yeah. So we're from East LA, Montebello. So it is the east of LA.
Or you have the no sabo kids.
No, we're not there.
Well, we're definitely not there, but I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah.
we have,
Our Spanish is...
there's no sabo kids, and
You can't believe them, bro. Chill.
that can be a different topic.
We're gonna get canceled. Not even said we just started today.
But
8 minutes in, we're done. That's it.
That's it. You fucked up already,
it.
man.
yeah,
That's
thank
it.
you, no sabo kids. But definitely, like we said, you know, this the way we're trying to steer this place is it's just you know, our opinions, what we think about current situations, and you know, we're not all gonna agree, and it's 4 different mindsets, and maybe 2 or 3 might have in accordance the right idea,
Yeah.
and the other one might not. But at the end of the day, it's okay because we agree to disagree, and that's part of the reason why we've had a friendship for so long, because we don't always have to agree with each other.
Yeah, and I think that's something that's been lost in today's society, that, you know, we're so mixed in with Instagram and TikTok that, you know, a lot of people comment, you know, Facebook had a dislike button for a bit, Twitter did too. And I think, you know, people can voice their opinions there without having actual interactions in person. That, you know, I think people and these generations behind us have to understand that you can still have conversations with friends, and it's okay to disagree. And not just because I don't agree with your version of how you want to live your life means I can't talk to you and I can't be friends with you, and screw this guy because I think what he's saying is stupid. I think that's okay in a way. And I think I think this podcast is, you know, to show these next generations that, dude, it is okay to sit down and have conversations with your friends, and you're not going to agree with them. And just because you don't agree with them doesn't mean that you can't be friends, because I think that's what makes it good. It's almost like trying to date a girl that likes everything that you like, dot by dot. It's almost like a weird concept that I used to have. Like, this girl has to like everything that I like, because otherwise it's kind of cool when they kind of don't like what you like, in a way. Not everything, but in a way
you get
it's
to
kinda,
do a lot of the stuff that you want to do.
Yeah.
And they tag along.
Yeah.
And it's great.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think this podcast is gonna be real interesting. I think it's gonna get edgy. It's gonna get kind of crazy at times. I think it's gonna be a difficult listen for some people, because a lot of people that, you know, sit at home and sometimes don't get to go out as much as we did and as much as we do. Not as much anymore, but, you know, you got to have conversation with different people, and you know, I think a lot of people sit at home and, you know, they're afraid to voice their opinion because you get canceled now. It just gets difficult for you to speak up. You know?
And so that's and that's part of, I mean, now we go into depth, right, of that, and why, you know, I think that's part of the reason why I also like, I hope to enjoy and do all this podcast together, because it is, to me, voicing that opinion now. A man can speak up and can start talking more and you know, stating what they like, what they don't like, and even, you know, Ricardo touched the subject on that whole you know, the friendship thing and all sorts of stuff, you know. I don't know if you guys want to get into that friendship thing, you know, how long we've been friends, and, you know, how, you know, all sorts of stuff, or, you know, but
I mean, yeah, we can start with I mean, damn, dude.
I'll say it. So with Teddy, it was a weird thing, right? So I've known him since middle school, but we didn't talk a lot in middle school.
5th grade.
But for whatever weird reason, he was always my top 1 or 2.
bitch,
MySpace.
your
MySpace
top
friends.
MySpace bitch.
Yeah.
Damn. MySpace.
So whether he had a girlfriend or not, I was 2nd or 3rd. And it was same thing with me. Well, yeah, in a way.
Top 2, and I'm not 2.
Wasn't it it was weird, right? And we didn't talk that much.
I think
It was so weird. We really didn't talk that much during middle school, but we were always there.
We knew about each other since 5th grade.
What
we
was
were
that?
in the
That
same
was,
classes.
that was weird.
We were in the same classes. Like, we switched
Oh yeah, you were with
one class to the other for different subjects.
You were with Mrs. Puff, and I was with.
I was not with Mrs.
Whoa.
Puff. Oh,
Whoa,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
and but when, I mean, at least when I got MySpace, it was around 7th grade.
Yeah, something like that.
Around there, you know. I think it was.
On the
Not-
AOL dial-up.
I don't want to give out my age like that, but I was 13, and
With Peach Fuzz. With Peach Fuzz.
Peach Fuzz was going into effect. And
Pelos en el cu.
so, you know, it was around that time, and 7th grade rolled around, and, you know, started talking to Ricardo a little bit more. 8th grade it came about, and I remember we clicked,
Yeah.
and halfway through that school year, we said, we're going into high school, and we're gonna fuck shit up together. And what happened?
We got all married.
We had kids.
That is not a lie.
No, but that summer,
We fucked shit up.
That summer transfer.
Senior year.
No. Yeah. Yeah, I know it was a.
Without getting into detail. Okay,
Yeah,
I got it.
like,
I got you.
I mean, as
Understood.
in, like, we decided to get, you know, into actually doing what we said we were gonna do in 8th grade. It started happening until senior year.
Yeah.
But
Mainly though, cause my mom would never let me out. She was so strict. If I was home, like, even an hour after school was over, I'd be
Dude, and you live
Getting-
like, what, 15 minutes walking from the high school?
like 10 minutes.
Not even 10.
Bro,
Yeah.
10 on a skateboard 5. I mean, I live 20 minutes
Power
away
walking, how
in a
fast
car.
power walking?
Yeah.
Like that episode of Malcolm in the Middle.
I should have gone to a different high school because I moved, but I was like, nope, I'm going back. So that's pretty much how this friendship started. And, well, you know, little brother Brian kind of tagged along.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, so Ricardo and I are brothers. Same mother, same father. Same everything.
It sounds like you're describing a freaking Labrador.
That's key nowadays.
Yeah, this dog, same mom, same dad. We got bred by the same thing. What the hell?
You calling my mom and my dad a dog? You piece of shit.
Authentic.
Purebred. If you pull me from the neck, I don't cry.
This was the fuck.
It's like when you go pick one out, that's the mom, that's the dad.
These are the brothers. Anyways, I tagged along late. I mean, a lot of the times it was always I had my own group of nerds, my own group of friends, nerds, whatever you want to call them, and then eventually, I was always. Well, yeah, Ricardo's friends obviously they knew me. They knew I was, his brother or whatever, So then, what was it till after high school, right? That we started having a friendship with Renee at a warehouse that we will not name.
That's a topic
for another
different conversation, but all 4 of us, including Diego, we all worked in the same warehouse at one point. But continue.
And that was a desmadre.
Thank you, China, for taking our jobs.
Anyway. This is the kind of shit that's going to get us canceled. And what are all 15 minutes in?
President G, I hope you enjoyed San Francisco. It's really nice out there. That's why the Raiders left.
Yeah. You know what?
We're not getting into football right now. No, we're not. No, I'm not getting into football right now. No.
Real
Fuck
quick,
your
let me
football.
just say this.
Dude, you see what you started this with the fucking Raiders and shit, man.
Briefly.
Yeah, Renee is a fucking Raider fan. He fucking shits Raiders and
That's half of
kisses.
LA.
Briefly.
Have you seen the Rams
Briefly.
thing?
Loves
Empty.
Raiders and shits Raiders.
Oakland
and-
was so mad when the Raiders left, but it's like, oh, wait, the Warriors left. Oh, but it's okay because they moved across the bay. Yeah, they left the city of Oakland to San Francisco. Okay, Raiders leave. Oh, my God. Oakland is hurting. We're not going to go fly to Vegas and watch them play. Well, guess what? The A's just left for Vegas. So now what? You lost 3 teams in a matter of what? 3-4 years?
Well, they had a visit from President Xi, so it's a lot better than LA. I'll tell you that much.
You interrupted my love story. you interrupted my love story for that shit.
So I want to know one thing. Okay, so I heard the story. I mean, I know it. Our audience doesn't know it. It's a lot more deep than that, but we don't. We don't want to get too deep into like how we met. But what I really want to know is, what do you guys want to get from this podcast?
As for me, it's something. It's simple that we just our opinion, my opinion. And we being okay with agreeing and disagreeing with each other, because that's literally what we've been doing.
But is it about us?
It can be about us, and it can be about topics that we have that we might that we have going on in our lives, and whatever is going on out there that people can relate to. That, it's like, okay, I know what you're talking about because I'm going through something like that. Like we might have brought up, sometime before, it's like we're first generation Mexican Americans. And I feel like a lot of first generation Mexican Americans went through something similar or the same thing that they can be like, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Something like that. And it can be different topics.
I'll put us in the hot spot. I think we're interesting as fuck.
I want the hot seat.
I'm telling you right now, we're
You played it safe right there. Right now.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
waiting for you to
I'm
take
gonna-
out
I'm
that
gonna- I'm
shotgun
gonna-
and so go America. You held back.
I'm gonna try to just hype
We're
this
gonna
up
come
right
back to him. I know what he wants to let off his chest. Your chest going up.
now. That shit's pumping out. You've been going to the gym. I think
Eventually, something will come out.
That's after a bag of hot Cheetos.
I'm gonna say it straight out. I just think we're not that we're interesting. That it's just, dude, 4 dudes coming out of Montebello, East LA. You know, and we have our own experiences, and they're pretty. I think they're pretty interesting, to be honest with you. And I think sharing them out there is cool because I know a lot of people are gonna relate to, and it's gonna be a variety of topics, right? It could be sex, it could be baby mamas, it could be women, feminism, it could be what's going on in the world, and so
No Sabo kids.
So. Yeah, that's honestly to me that's
Edgar.
Oh my god.
No,
Hi, Miguel.
The chick in the Nissan Altima.
Oh my. So I really think that from this podcast, what we do want to get is we want to be able to help this push to stop this woke culture. I mean, there's certain parts of the woke culture that, I understand that there has to be certain change, but I think our purpose here is to express our real opinions that we do have, because I think, unfortunately, this country there was a narrative that was created by, I'm going to say it, by these mainstream medias, Univision, who's someone
You're a fan of.
I dislike, personally. I think I'm not going to get too into it, but I think there's all these mainstream news stations and stuff, and some parts of Instagram and TikTok, they've pushed a narrative on our culture that we disagree on. And it's not just our culture. I'm going to speak as the American culture, that I think we're going too far one way and we have to stop it. Because I think when men are called upon, we're not able to do it. It's only convenient when men are called upon. It's when it's convenient for the opposite sex or convenient to other genders. You want to talk about LGBTQ X, Y, and Z shit. Like, it's fine. I don't disagree with any of it. Like, you can be whatever the hell you want to be. I have no problem with that. We have friends that are and very respectful people, and we respect what they want, what they do, who they are, how they speak. But I think there's a narrative above the normal people that we talk to on an everyday that we need to stop it, because I think it's only when it's convenient, when you need masculine men to come out and do their job and do what we were meant to do. I think in a way it's trying to make us look weak, and you only speak when you have to, and you only do masculine things when we want you to. But if you do it any other time, it goes back to the plates that we were talking about earlier, plates that were broken by our parents, by our grandparents, so on and so forth. It goes back in generations where this machismo, that of course we're trying to get rid of some of that machismo, because I think we can agree that some of the things, maybe our dads, our grandparents, things that happen in there, I think it doesn't work in our generations, and it's things that we don't want to do either. It's just like other things that have happened in this country's history that we don't agree on, and obviously we're wrong. They didn't know better, and what is better at the end of the day, right? But it's just a different time. But I think we're going too far one way, and we want to help men that are out there that are not able to voice their opinion to understand that they're not alone, because there are a lot of men in relationships, in marriages, and sometimes they're even single, sitting home quiet, depressed, and unable to speak up, and might even feel alone, thinking, this is my life. This is what I have to deal with. This is what I have to do. I need to shut up for this relationship to work. I need to just stay here because this is the life I chose. And I think that it's not wrong. I think it's wrong in a way.
Yeah.
Because I think everyone has, outside of your family and outside of your situation, you are a person, you are an individual.
Yeah.
And you have your voice and whatever life you want to live at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
It comes down to a old school saying of tienes que doblar las manos. And I've heard that, throughout time, and it's like, okay, yeah, doblas las manos, you pretty much, you fold your hands and you let it be. And it's something that I really don't agree with, because it's like, how many times do you have to fold your hands and let something happen over and over and over?
Mm-hmm.
Talking on a guy's perspective, guys in, like you said, relationships, or just being single and dealing with their families. And it's like, sometimes you gotta, no, that's not okay. Voice your opinion. Part of the reason why, like I said, I was kind of eager to join and start a podcast with you guys, because it's like, it's just voicing our opinions. We're not going to be correct. We're not going to be wrong. We're going to agree to disagree. They are our opinions. It's for those people that work 9 to 5, that work in an office, that need something to listen to. You know what? You listen to that same playlist over and over and over. Troqueros Locochones. You guys know what I'm talking about. And it's like, you want to listen to something fresh. You want to listen to something new. Maybe you've heard something similar, but
Similar topics.
similar, yeah, you've heard similar topics, but it's like, we're not holding back.
Yeah, no.
Whether you might agree with me or disagree with me, you might agree with Brian or disagree with him, or Ricardo or with Diego, when he's here. It's like, at the end of the day, we're trying to make this fun. We're trying to make you laugh. We're trying to make you, hit a couple points where you're like, I definitely agree. Yes, I know what you're talking about. And at the end of the day, it's like, that's what we're here for. And that's why we started this, podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my thing is to extend on that a little bit. I thought you were headed to the point where I think men today can be paying for broken plates from generations before. And I think we're walking into relationships, we're walking into marriages, we're walking into fatherhood, paying plates that we didn't break. And we're paying for plates that their fathers broke, that their grandparents broke, and it's just been a message that's getting passed down, that now you get into these marriages, or trying to you become a father and you're living with this person, and it's almost like they're trying to make you pay for something you didn't do from day one. And I think that's something that we want to get into, I believe. But everyone has a different opinion. From what I've spoke to you before, Renee. I spoke to you, Brian. I've had conversations with Diego before, and I know we all have different opinions. From the best friend thing we talked about earlier, you have your opinion. Brian has. We all have our different opinion, and I think it's interesting. That's what the dynamic I feel is going to work with this, because everyone has a different opinion. Some of us have a more drastic opinion. Some of us have a more conservative opinion as far as that topic, but not just that topic. A lot of other topics. Our goal isn't to shit on a specific group or gender or identity. Grasshoppers are cool, I believe. You know what I'm trying to say? And
El Chapulín.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
And at the end of the day, it's like we have to, I think this is needed. I think you have to hear it from people, not just like some of these famous people we hear, conversations from. I think it's more important sometimes to listen to the opinions from people like us every
Four
day.
regular dudes that came out from East LA.
Yeah.
Montebello, East LA.
Simple opinions, simple ideas. And I think a lot of people can relate to us because, we're first generation, and we're not just catering to first generation Mexican Americans. We're Latinos, Hispanos, Chicanos, whatever you want to call it, which is a crisis we have. But
Crisis identity.
No,
What am I?
No, let's not get into that.
What
crisis
am
identity,
I?
please,
Am I a Chicano?
we'll get there.
Am
We'll
I
get there.
You know what? Yes,
We'll get
you
there.
guys get the handle of it.
yeah, but at the end of the day, it should be a real interesting one. This is our first go. This is our first try. And we'll leave you guys with that. Give us your opinions as what you think. We're gonna have an episode to lead on to this where it's gonna get a little more intense. I'm gonna say a lot because this group of people we have here have some drastic opinions that are gonna get your head turning a little bit, and it might want to throw your phone across the desk, but across the office. But stay tuned. It's going to be an interesting one. And I hope you join the ride. Thank you.
Peace.
Thank you.